So last week we interviewed the outgoing mayor of Utica. Today we're talking to Thom Dionne, the mayor-elect. Who is Thom Dionne?
Comparison to Jackie, basically no one. And Jackie's got a really big impression on the city. You know, she's made her mark, and I'm hoping I can really follow in her footsteps as far as being that successful and that adored. But for myself, I'm pretty much a simple guy. I don't really consider myself a politician whatsoever. I'm a police officer, firefighter, EMT, a licensed realtor, a licensed real estate appraiser. So I've got a mixture of things in my toolbox that I'm going to bring to the city of Utica. But the biggest thing I think I bring, and what I really am, is a big fan and cheerleader of the city. I'm a hands-off approach kind of guy, and I figure that with the right people in the right position who are already in place, it's going to make it really easy for me to step into that position.
What skills do you have that you think will prepare you for this office?
Well, I think the number one thing that you have to have in order to be a public servant is the public interest in mind. I think personality-wise, I bring a lot to the table. And I think that means being a person that can take direction, a person that can lead, a person that's humble. You know, I don't have an ego about myself. So I think that when it comes to being the voice of the people of Utica, they're going to find a strong advocate in their corner in City Hall.
When and why did you decide to seek the office of Utica's mayor?
Probably about 6 years ago. The wife and I were having a discussion. We moved back downtown, and we had a discussion that we were sitting there talking one day, and she says, "You love this town. You know, it's one of these things like we're the family that still wears our football jerseys and our varsity jackets to the homecoming games, and we go to every homecoming game. We set up a big event in our yard for the homecoming parade as it passes by our house." And we were talking about it. I said, "Let's get involved. Let's be part of this." And when we had the opportunity to think about running, it was the case that we knew we couldn't run against Jackie. It was just that wasn't going to work.
Why did you think you could make a difference? Because ultimately that's why you do it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that making a difference is the main drive behind running the campaign and becoming interested in the position at all. For the most part, I want to have some say and some involvement in what happens in my community. I live here. I'm vested in the city. I want to see things progress and move forward in the town where I grew up. Primarily, it's about being an advocate for the city of the people, and the voice of the people. If you don't get involved, you can't really have a voice.
What went through your mind when you found out that you won the election by 5 votes?
You know, really, in the end, we think about it, it's 3 people, or it could be 3 people, because 1 vote from me is 1, and 1 vote to him from the same person. That's a difference of two votes. So a 3-person difference, a 3-person vote would have made the whole difference. It was a very narrow margin. I'm not surprised. Frank ran a really strong campaign. He was endorsed by Jackie, as you know. From what I know, he's a nice guy. So when people meet him at the door, he's probably charismatic, you know, and he's a people person like myself. I saw him going door to door just like me. Sometimes we were on the same street. So when it came down to 5 votes, I wasn't surprised that it wasn't a blowout either way. But 5 votes is such a narrow margin. It was like, wow, did that really just happen? 5 votes, you know, it was a little unbelievable.
A lot of people turned out because of the presidential race, so you got more voters at the polls.
Absolutely.
Do you think that helped or hurt you?
I think it helped. I think it helped absolutely. People were impassioned by this particular election. They were so divided. Either you were a Hillary fan or you were a Trump fan. But there was very few people that were either a Thom Dionne fan or a Frank Chapsky fan. And also Ed Wykes, also a nice guy, great guy. We got a chance to meet him. But there were people that were, not necessarily an Ed Wykes fan because they didn't know anything about us. We were 3 basic unknowns. The general election, being that it was a presidential election, made it possible for people to have further interest in us because they knew they were going to be voting on November 8th. And they knew that now at this point they're going to be in there casting their ballot. And they didn't know these 3 unknowns. So what it did, it forced them to go out and do a little bit of research on us. So my Facebook page, one week had 15,000 hits. Or I pushed an advertisement and they would get 7,000 likes.
Walk me through the campaign process for you. What was it like?
It was a little nerve-wracking. I tell you, it was a little overwhelming. I didn't really realize the amount of work it was going to be. I haven't been a first-time candidate. Went from word of mouth, to going door to door, to creating events and creating advertisement. It was quite a bit more work than I anticipated, but I have to be honest, I really enjoyed every single moment of the whole campaign process. I get out and I talk to hundreds of people, door to door, knock down their doors. My family joined me one weekend and we went out door to door, so we had like a big family event. After that, we came here to Shamrock and had a great burger. So it put together our family, brought us together and made us go out and do things together, which was great. But I gotta say, the amount of work that we put into it was way more than I anticipated.
What did you campaign on, and what were your promises, and how do you plan to implement them?
Well, one of the main things I told people that I would really like to do is I'd like to really develop our downtown district. I think that this is we're like a needle in a haystack right now. Utica has been a drive-by town. We have M59 that takes thousands of cars past our city every day. I don't want people just to drive by. I want people to stop in. And I want people to realize, hey, we're here. We got great places. We got the Shamrock, we got Muldoon's, we got Danny J's, we got Tivoli's. We got these amazing places to come and eat and visit. And I think that they're missing out. With the ballpark being there, there's a huge catalyst to bring people downtown. And I want to see our residents, enjoy our town, but I want to see our neighbors come to our town as well. So downtown development was a really big focus of the campaign. I'd like to see our municipal services stay strong, independent of anyone else. Merging with Shelby Township and Sterling Heights is just simply not going to happen. And that's what I told people. People were really concerned. I don't want Sterling Heights Fire at my door. I don't want Shelby Township Police at my door. Not that they're not great people and they're not great at what they do, but we're in Utica. We're not anyone else. And at my house, I want to see a Utica ambulance at my home if there's an emergency. I don't want to see MedStar or someone else. So my promises were to keep Utica its own identity, keep it independent, and increase our public safety.
What's your plan for the transition?
All the department heads and I have had opportunity to meet, and some of them at length and some of them just introductions. Having lived here for a bit, I've got a chance to meet all of them at some point or another. As at this point right now, I think they're all well qualified, and I think that they're doing their job the way the residents would expect them to. I have no intention of replacing anyone at this point. I think all the department heads, from the police chief, the fire chief, DPW supervisor, or superintendent, the clerk, everyone that's in their spot right now is, I think, a real asset to the city. I have no intentions at all of replacing them with anyone. For example, the fire chief. I talked to him, but I've also spoke to all of his guys, and every one of his guys says he's top notch. Every one of his guys said he's the guy that's in the right spot, and that means more to me that the people that work for him are really impressed by him. But as well, the residents like him too, and I know his history, I know his experience, and that weighs a lot in it also. But having the confidence of his guys makes me really confident that he's the right guy for the spot as well. And that goes with the police department too. Police officers, they have faith and confidence in their chief, and I've met Chief Faber a handful of times, and we've had some discussions, and I feel he's also the right guy for the job. I don't anticipate change at this point.
What about at the mayor's office level, or those like the administration folks?
I can't see that they would. Need to leave at all. As long as we're
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Absolutely. I think they're probably my best tool at this point to being able to bring me up to speed to where the mayor has been, and so it's a smooth transition. I think they're a huge piece of that. So changing them, I think, would be a mistake at this point.
Do you have a first 100 days plan? If so, what is it?
Yeah, I don't have a first 100-day plan, to tell you the truth. I mean, it's not something I thought about. I know the president will use that term, and for me, being in a small town, I'm going to go to work day one, and I'm going to show up for the next 2 years every day, and I'm going to work hard. And people say, "What's a part-time job?" The city doesn't turn its lights off at midnight, and the city goes away, and the city services, stop. And this is a 24-hour city, and I plan on being a 24-hour mayor. I'm going to show up every day. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to go out in the field and see what the DPW is up to. I'm going to go out and talk to the chiefs every day to make sure that do they have concerns that need to be met. And I'm going to go out and talk to the citizens.
Can you tell me specific things that you'd like to accomplish for the city of Utica, tangible things in the next 2 years?
Absolutely. A few things I've thought about. A dog park. I'd like to see the city have a dog park. we're a within walking distance downtown. If you live up Brownell or live up Cass or one of the side streets, or you live off of Utica Road in the neighborhoods over here, people walk to downtown. We're accessible. We have the bike trail. You know, people run their dogs up and down the trail. I'd like to see a dog park. You know, again, I don't know where, but something. One thing I want to do is have a little stronger ordinance enforcement. I'd like to see blight gone by the wayside. I'd like to see vacant buildings occupied. But blight is something that decreases property values and hurts the neighborhoods. Even if it's subtle, blight won't be accepted in the city of Utica. I'd like to see a number of events downtown. Festivals downtown take place, closing down Auburn Road, closing down part of Cass, and bringing people from other neighborhoods and other municipalities here because it's something that it's a place they want to be.
Is there anything that you'd like to say to Utica, your Utica constituents and Macomb County residents on what they should expect from you in the next couple of years?
I'm going to work very hard for the people that elect me. There's no place in the world I'd rather live. I can't call myself a politician. If this job was a city manager's position, it would be easier for me to be hired to be that guy, because being a politician, people think I have an agenda. I just simply don't. I love the town where I live. I love the town where I grew up. I'm going to represent our city with dedication, passion for the job. They're never going to find me doing anything illegal, unethical, or immoral. I'm going to be the guy that represents our city well.
Anything you want to add?
I'm a regular individual guy, like any other dad, any other husband, any other neighbor that lives in this town. I'm exceptionally proud to have gotten their vote of confidence.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Rob.
If you liked this video or found it informative, please comment, like, and share in the comment section below. And if you liked it and you want to see future videos, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. As always, you can see more of my work at ronrobinsonstudios.com. Until next time.
4,700 residents. It's a small town, but it has a big imprint and a big impression on people in the area. People think Utica's big. It's because we live big here. We got big stores. We got Hall Road. We got downtown. We look big, but we're small, and there's a lot of value in that.